Hi, it's Stephanie with the Wreath Design Studio, and I am excited to be doing Miriam Bright with Kim's Craft Shop. She is designing a gorgeous nutcracker for me. And so I thought as I prepare for that event, July 19th, 11 Central Standard, noon Eastern, right here on TikTok, that I would start working on one of the bows that I'm going to have. And I wanted to share that with you. So we're going to talk about, or I'm going to show you how, using two zip ties, a pine tie, and these three ribbon. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. How I am going to make this gorgeous bow. So I'm going to have two of them on my design, but I'm going to go ahead and walk you through how I made this one. So watch along with me. So the first thing I'm going to do, this gold is going to be on the top, so I don't need this one yet. But I am going to take 2 yards of this green glitter ribbon. And I'm just going to measure that out real quick. So that is my 2 of this. I'm going to cut this. So I've got 2 yards of this. And then I'm going to need 4 yards of this, but broken into 2 different pieces. So 2 yards and 2 yards. So let me get this one first time around. So this is my first 2 yards of this beautiful jeweled ribbon. And then I will do that again. So 2 yards. And I'm going to cut this as well. So this is really easy, but it's a way to make your ribbon unique and your own, right? Your own design. So now that I've done both of these, I've cut the ribbon for both of these colors. I'll set that aside. And then I am going to get everything kind of out of my way here. And I'm going to start with gluing down the green on top of the seam on one side of this. So I'm going to glue it down like this, all the way down one side, and then repeat on the other side. And I'm using a low temp glue gun just because I don't want to get burned, and that can't happen. So just watch along with me while I do that. All right, I'm going to move this down so you can see better. There we go. And we will get started. All right, so now that I've got all of this done, I am going to take my trusty bow maker, my easy bow maker, and begin to make this bow. So my tails are going to be about 7 inches long. I'm not going to worry about the fact that these aren't even right now because I'm going to trim them and make them a dovetail anyway. So I am going to start on the side that actually is the closest to being even. I'm going to go ahead and get this down off in here. Actually, first I need to put my zip tie down, make sure it's the right way. And then I'm going to put my pine tie in. And now, here we go. So I'm going to make my tails about 7 inches long. And my first 2 loops are going to be about 6 inches. So I'm just going to put that in, twist, make that about 6 inches long. Come in on this side and and twist. I'll straighten all that out in a little bit. I'm gonna make this about 6 inches long also on this side. But I am gonna make sure they measure up with one another by checking my little bunny ears here. I'm gonna pull them up together and make sure they're about the same height. When I pull them up, and they are, yay. So now I'm gonna go back through, and this time I'm gonna make my tails about 4 inches. So twist, put this in here, about 4 inches, 4.5 maybe actually. Again, I'll straighten all this up once I get my bow tied up, literally. About 4 inches on this side. Check these bunnies to make sure they're about right. This one's a little taller, so I'm going to give this a little more of my tail. All right, so they're good. And again, I'll straighten all this up once I get everything done. So with the gold, I'm going to leave myself quite a bit of tail. And I am going to do a 3-inch bow on each side, or loop on each side. Check my ears. Then I'm going to come back through, twist. I'm just going to do like a partial loop here. I'm going to leave this hanging out on this side. And when I bring up my zip tie, I'm going to zip tie on to make sure that I've caught my center loop in that zip tie so that I can just fluff that out later. So it goes through like this. Start tightening everything up. Let my zip tie do the work. We're going to get this out of here. Move that aside now. I'm going to go ahead and put this into the center. Pull it back to the back. Now I'm going to play with this for a little bit to get everything right. These two are still good. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this zip tie all the way tight. I'm going to cut my gold. That almost took a dive off the table. All right, and now I just play with these bows. I'm going to fluff them out and straighten out the ribbon on both sides, just to make sure everything is cool. And this is going to get pulled over on this side, this gold on that I had on my loop, center loop. Pull this tail down, straightening out all of my ribbon. Showing this ribbon who's the boss. I'm the boss, not you. Scooch these out of the way so that I can go ahead and cut my tails. And this is where I can get that uneven part off. So I'm going to even that up. come across and cut it up toward the top so it actually ends up as a dovetail. And I shall do the same on this side. Even that up. Put across the top. Make that another dovetail. So now I've got my dovetails going here. And then I'm just going to take these gold ones and I'm just going to roll these up. So I just roll them like in a circle all the way through using my thumbs. And I just roll, 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 roll. And I'm not doing these really tight as you saw in the first one. You can if you'd like to make them really tight, but I decided I was going to make these a little looser. And then I just pull from the inside out, drape that down. I'll do the same on this side. Roll, 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 roll. I'm keeping those kind of big. Pull from the inside. And there we go. All right. So here's my bow. And now I've got two, just like. Of course, you're going to cut off your zip tie here in the back. And you're good to go. So let me know what you thought about this demo tonight. And then I also want you to mark your calendars. July 19th, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Come watch me design my nutcracker wreath using a nutcracker design from Kim's Craft Shop for Merry and Bright. See you then. Bye.